always wondered if I'm considered a good person. Were my deeds done in vain, or were they done out of kindness? I've like to say I'm a good person. I've helped people out of the kindness of my heart, simply because I had the time to. Was it because it would make me feel good, or because it'd be profit in the end? Never really decided the answers for those questions, and I don't think I ever will. That's simply how I function. To be kind, to be good, to be human. So many things you must be, all for one. Gratitude from another, acceptance from many. No. Telephone, no. I'm not a philosopher. Never. Nor will I ever be. I'm just someone talking while drawing, trying to figure out why. It's very weird for some reason. I've always wanted to be seen as a good person, someone who's capable of doing good, someone who's capable of being trusted, someone who's capable of human activities, I guess. I don't know if it's because of a habit I've been doing all these years, just trying to not really mimic. I don't think I'm a sociopath nor someone who lacks something, lacks human qualities. Rather, I think I'm doing it in order to mesh in with people. I don't think I'm bad with talking to people. I don't think I'm inherently a difficult person. Yeah, I still act, think, and do the things I do for what? Gratitude, helped people, and don't know why. Maybe because I could. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's the only reason I ever needed was helping people because I could. I do wonder why many people don't help others. Why they'd rather look the other way and claim, oh, uh, they didn't need my help. Oh, yes, I've thought like that before. It's only after I've confirmed that they don't need it. I want to know. It's always so interesting seeing people, how they think, how they act, how they react to things. Is it kindness that require that makes someone move for another? Is it greed for what? Attention? Would you gain? Is it worth the action? Is the temporary feeling of attention worth the effort and looking like a false savior? For some, yeah, I mean, I get why. It's kind of nice to be looked at. I'm personally not a fan of being looked at. That's kind of why I'm keeping my. That's why I don't like people knowing that I draw. It's because I'm not I'm not prideful in it. I don't have enough confidence within myself to show others, especially those that I can't. That I'm kind of that are optional, really, to see my work, at least attempt of work. So I usually try and so I hide it. I mean, I hide many things. I've lied, I've cheated, I've done. Well, yeah, that's about it. I've not done any crimes. I don't think I'd say I'm a very clean person on that end. But I've lied many times in order to save myself face because I don't like losing that face. It's possibly out of reaction of pride. which would make sense considering what I know about myself. Maybe someone else thinks something else. Maybe some think that I am a very humble, very quiet person, which is usually how I am in class. Others may think of me as a very outgoing, very social person, which is how my friends may see me. Some might just see me as someone else, which is how many others should see me. I don't know how I'd like to be seen in this world. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of kindness. I'd like to be seen as kind, as someone that others can rely on, because I will not take a penny out of their pockets for my actions. That's that's why I want to be a good person. I want to be kind. I want to be seen as someone who can help because it's always so fun. It's always so fun seeing the reactions of people if their problems solved for them. It's nice, you know. It's like a it's like morning dew, something that you could smell. It's never that strong. It's never harsh. You always feel the same about it. And it's always the same reaction with beautiful sweetness. That's how I feel about seeing someone smile because of my actions, my kindness. But I wonder if they see it the same way. I'm not a very contradictory person. I remember what I say, remember what I do, remember why I did it. Very rarely do I ever forget my actions and why I did them. Oh, I remember why I started drawing. I was afraid to be, to grow up as an adult without any actual skills other than what I'm gonna be learning, what I've learned in school, which isn't much. Not saying that like my teachers are bad or that I'm a student who never paid attention, which kind of applies here and there, but that's not here or there. I'd, I'd like to help more people. Maybe one day, whenever I become successful, whether it's because of my art, because of what I've learned in school, that my success can translate into kindness, and that kindness will translate into help for others. Maybe then I could feel, that beautiful morning dew smile every time. I'd like to raise children one day. I'd like to say that I might be a good father, but, you know, um, I don't really want to have children now. I'd like to be stable. I'd like to have something going for me beyond just my youth, my dashing good looks, which I'm lying about. I'd like to see, I'd like to figure out my life before I ever have children, because I don't want them growing up concerned about tomorrow. They should only be concerned about what they're having for lunch, nothing more. That's personally how I wish all children could think about. Just simply, what should I eat for lunch today? Will it be the mac and cheese that was left over from dinner last night? Will it be the sandwich that was prepared for me? Or will it be something of my own creation? I'd like to say that'd be a good life for them, for my children, for all children. Fortunately, I do not have the hands to reach them, nor the money to bridge the gap. I do not have the skills or mindset capable of doing that kind of change because I am someone who's inherently afraid of my own. I'm not afraid actually. It wouldn't be fear. It's just no. It is fear. I am afraid. Scratch everything I just said previously. I am afraid of what I can and can't do. I've lived my life true to myself, always doing what I believed would be the action that I decided. Yeah, that's who I am. And so, all those years of me living to my own code, to my own values, to my own degrees, my own dreams, to my own thoughts, I've always lived true to myself. And sometimes I'd hold my tongue for the sake of someone else, whether it was kindness or because I simply didn't want to deal with it. I'm afraid of my own inaction, my own lack of desire. It's always terrifying when you see yourself in the mirror and yet your mirror, oh, the person looking back at you looks down. Is it because I am disappointed in myself or because that's all I could see? The world below me, far simpler no, simple enough for me because I do not ever want to look up and calculate the clouds. I don't want to think about what they could make, what they could dream of, what I could become. It's always a terrifying thing to be human. Yeah, it's the most beautiful feeling of all. Makes no sense. I think I'm content with that. I'm not really talking to make sense or to explain my reasoning. I'm simply talking for the sake of talking. Maybe it's to pass the time. Maybe that's why I'm talking. Or maybe it's because I want to, hopefully one day be able to talk to people, other people, not through the person that I've forged myself in real life, but the persona that I've mixed mixed and matched to cater to who I would like to be online. Maybe I could find some more friends like this. Maybe some more people I could talk to. That'd be nice. That'd be kind of odd too. Well, it's not like I haven't met people online. Maybe I could find a teacher, maybe someone to guide me, a sensei, one might say. That'd be kind of fucking horrifying. Though. I'd never call someone sensei. I would just call them teach. With an odd relationship with my teachers, usually because I'm too very entertaining, yeah, very happy-go-lucky person. So I'd usually confront my teachers, or not confront, really communicate with my teachers in a more joyous tone than most students. I'd try and talk to them as if I'm their equal, and at least humanity, but probably not, educationally. I could never be a teacher. God, I'm far too impatient of a person. Second a student just starts trying to not do something I'd like them to do, I just get too impatient and just like yell or something. And there, I wonder why I don't consider myself a good person. Yeah, that's why. It's because my impatience. Is a monk considered a good person because he's willing to wait forever? I mean, looks not even a monk could wait forever. I don't know how they live their lives. Is it boring for them? Constantly praying, constantly living a certain kind of way. I could never. Man, not being able to eat certain foods, not being able to go out at certain times or whatever. This kind of just sounds like childhood, but like for the rest of your life, which doesn't sound very fun. And I hope one day I could be considered kind by another, or at least a good person, so I could feel a little bit better about my actions, that they actually did have worth, they did have meaning. It wasn't just because I did them not because I wanted the recognition, but because I simply could. Hey, oh, that's what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought earlier. Yeah, I don't know why people aren't trying to, help another person out. You know, like you have hands. Why don't you make the house yourself for another? Not saying you should pay for yourself, but like you have been given the money, you've been given the time, you've been given the power to. Yet you choose to increase all of those. It's odd, you know? Even greed. Is capitalism truly the pinnacle of humanity? Is this where we'll plateau for the rest of our lives? At this horrible station of just personal profit and greed, never to step onto the next train to help another because it'd be too expensive to, you know? Yeah, but I just wonder, like, maybe the Red Scare was like a whole, like, was purposely done in such a way to prevent, like, socialism from actually expanding, prevent kindness from, to perceive the kindness of others by using the government to fund it as something or nothing more, so just a commie concept that would never work, you know? It always baffles me to think about the people who don't want to help another. Like, they too are your common man. They are in the same boat as you. You simply just chose a different color. No, not chose. You were simply granted a different color of boat, a different circumstance, a different size. Yet those people on the boats are still the same as you. Hmm. I wonder, do those people truly have no kindness in their heart? Do they truly just want to live for themselves and nothing more? Because I understand that. I know. Like, I spend a lot of my money for myself. I don't donate it. I'm not that good of a person. But like, to simply ignore the needs of others, not ignore the needs, ignore the God, um, ignore the safety of others simply for yourself because you deem them not worthy enough for your time. Isn't that horrifying? How people live in such a manner. Then again, I shouldn't be judging them. They've had their own lives. I've had mine. They too deserve the same respect that I will give everyone. It's only their actions that will decrease that respect, not who I believe they may be. I wish every children in the world could stop dying. I'd love for them to just run around on a field, see the sun, wonder what it is, ask questions about why it is. Let's be wondering when their next meal is or if their house is going to be restored. It's always unfortunate when people go to war. Even though it's so simple to solve, it just be something people don't like. I ever wonder if vaccines could have not vac. Oh yeah, vaccine rollout. Imagine if it failed. How would the world be like if they had the same kind of people back then as they did today? People who believe that their own personal quote unquote privilege is the majority instead of what it should be the minority of the opinions, the minority of the action, not, or yeah, action taking. I wonder how some people like this think about themselves. I start to think about what I've been doing wrong in a lot of things. I've gotten my lips down pretty good. Look at them. You know? Just gotta add a uh, little like mouth area. Or tongue, not mouth. I already did the mouth. This is the mouth. A little tongue like area and then like bada bing, bada boom. Looks pretty good. Ta-da. Yeah, I figured out tongues. I've learned that I'm pretty bad at the shapes. Not tongue. The lips. Figured out like how I kind of want to draw them. Another issue though I've discovered is shapes. I, and I hope I get better at drawing, because then I could you know start drawing the things I truly want to draw. So many thoughts and yet I can't ever properly express them. It feels like shit. So I hope that whenever I get good, if it takes 1 year, which probably not, this is what, day 280? I want to say 286. I mean, technically, I had a fat break in the middle, and I've been off and on drawing or uploading the drawings. Technically, I've been drawing them in a physical sketchbook I have, but not uploading them. I have uploaded it twice though. I'm happy I chose this. I'm happy I chose this medium to express myself. It allows me to, figure out, to slowly think, to slowly break down my own faults. I'm a very hasty person. I always want to take my next step before I've even taken my initial step. I always think far too ahead and don't ever think about the details. Like, why does this line have to go that direction? Or why does this have to go there? Or why does the color mix for the actual addition? Is there a need for a colored background? Is it because of contrast? No, I always like to think in the present. I need to think about why. I need to think about the past of what I must do and the future of the outcome. Just a hassle. I'm just trying to, draw and then bada bing, bada boom. But that's boring. That's lazy. That's AI. I'm trying to generate something. I'm trying to make something. It's not even art if it's made by a person. It's just a drawing. Something generated, something that doesn't have heart into it. True drawing, some true piece of art, always has a thought behind every action. Why does this thing have this little notch and the hair? It's because one time when they were 7, they decided, yeah, the best idea to on how to cut my hair. So going out, getting yourself a very expensive but very good barber, is to instead, grab the closest pair of scissors and think to yourself, yeah, I want this hairstyle. And try to recreate it, all without knowing that, you know, kind of can't without someone else helping you. Tried cutting my hair once. It's a bad idea. It came out horribly, and my mom laughed at me afterwards. I don't blame her. I would have laughed my ass off too. Shit, I probably wouldn't have helped. She actually did help cut my hair afterwards, or after that incident. It wasn't too long ago. I don't know what I'm saying. After that incident, pretty recent, a year ago, I think. But like, still, you know, I didn't use scissors. Oh no, I did use scissors. But like, you know, not like I don't know, not like a kid's way where I'm just like cutting my bangs. I tried cutting like the back of my head. I think. God, it was so uneven everywhere. Um, I think she took a picture, which is horrifying, knowing that there's someone on her phone, a shitty picture of my head, like attempted to be cut. But then again, such is life. You take one step forward, your dumbass is gonna trip 7 steps backwards. And it's perfectly fine. One of my favorite sayings coming from that is not coming from that. One of my favorite sayings because of the purposeful and very important mistakes of humanity is no matter how many times you get back, you get knocked down, it's how many times you're willing to get back up. I think that's great. I'd like to say that one day. I hope I never crack or crumble under pressure. Uh, I hope I never resort to a permanent end, permanent solution. I hope all those people who have see the best in themselves. I wonder how the I wonder what kind of place the afterlife is. Oh, I hope it isn't dark. I'm afraid of the dark. And many others are as well. I hope it's like a picnic, like a lunchtime picnic around what, like 2 p.m. I feel like that'd be a perfect time for a picnic. It's early enough that people aren't trying to, all the babies aren't trying to sleep, and it's late enough so that all them adults could start drinking their beers or wines without looking too much of an alcoholic. It's a good time for the cats to lay out in the sun or in the shade. It's a good time for the dogs to run out and play fetch with the kids that have come with them. I hope it's warm. Well, I don't. I love the cold, but a place where you should rest for the rest of your, no, it would be life, I guess, for all of eternity afterwards. Should be a little warm. It should be like someone's hug. Not so warm that you kind of like want to like go and just like push them away, saying, "Oh my God, you're so hot. You're so you're making me sweaty." Should be just like a comfortable warm, like your mother's embrace, like a kind hug from a friend or someone you love. I think that'd be nice. I hope all the people who've lived such strenuous lives only for them to end in such a unfortunate way are living are currently existing in such a warm place like that. They deserve more, and I wish I could have given them that. Seeing so many sad things, so many people dying on the internet, seeing so many lives being created and yet so many lost at the same time, you wonder, is this how the world is supposed to work? Am I supposed to know the death of a child one day and learn the birth of another? Or not even one day, 1 minute? I don't know how they're feeling. I hope their families can recover. I hope they could smile on their anniversary, not because that person was terrible, but because they know that deep down they would have wanted them to smile as well. This action wasn't taken to harm them, hopefully, simply to null or void the pain to make it feel dull. One day, if I ever become famous, that'd be kind of annoying though. Or becoming famous would be being famous is pretty annoying from what I can see. I kind of don't want to have that happen to me, but if I do ever become famous, I'd like to use my platform as a hotline, just for someone to call and ask and simply talk to someone. Not in like a therapy kind of way. I don't think I'm anywhere close to a therapist, but maybe as a friend. It's just a friend for everyone. That'd be nice. So that maybe I could save another life. Prevent another one from being lost to the ravages of human maliciousness. The worst kind of maliciousness is one where they are. It's the kind where you're compliant. Not the kind that you're it's one of the worst. It's not the worst. The worst is obviously the actual perpetrator, but second and hard second place would be those who acted in compliance and maliciousness. Those whose steps didn't rattle or shake in case of someone's injury. They simply strided right next to them and then passed them. Not just to save their own ass, but because they simply could not care enough to help another. It's truly horrifying what humanity has tried to avoid in such a long time. But the worst crime of all now is simply being someone. It isn't trying to avoid being someone. Personally, I'd love to talk to more people. I'd love to know how people live their lives. It's always so interesting. When I was younger, actually no, wrong. Now, even now, if I had the ability to break into people's homes, stop time, and just see how they live life, I would. It's fun. You ever wonder what the person on the bus stop standing next to you does in their life? Do you think they go home to their wife and kids, or maybe husband and kids? Who knows? Do you think they eat broccoli? You think they hate it? You think they like cauliflower more? You know? I think it'd be beautiful if we could all just talk as equals. If we could all just communicate our likes and dislikes, what we hate, what we love. I'd like to go first every single time. And my answer would always be I love being alive. Every time I talk, I feel like I'm learning something a little new. Not just about myself, but about the world. Not like a philosophical way where, like, yeah, my words are what prints out the fabric of the universe, what shits out the turd of cosmic, I guess, expansion and cosmic life. No, I don't know how much more fun the world would be if we were all kind. Maybe I could, you know, there's someone in the world who has like a switch. It's like, it'd be great if I could just talk to someone random, just like, it's like, hey, you got the switch too, right? Let me see that. Let me play a game. It's like, oh yeah, sure. You know, I feel like that world would be so much more fun to live in. But such is life, such is humanity. Greedy and unrestrained desire will never let us succeed. An ironic twist where acceleration of the future has only left us further behind than we should be. Humanity hasn't truly advanced. Humans have. Humanity's been stagnant for 100 years. We're all stuck in the same mindset of profit rather than people. I hope one day someone realizes that. Someone who's a far larger person in body, spirit, and mind than I am, and decides that humans need to stop advancing for a minute in order to let humanity catch up. I wonder how fun it'd be more advanced if we were all together. No, we have more engineers working on the same project in order to make something faster or better or stronger. Would space be our biggest concern, or would it be the the completion of Earth? Oh, there's so many things we could achieve. It's unfortunate that we're all stuck behind a veil of supremacy rather than kindness. Because the world could be so much fun if we just all decided that the worst thing someone could do isn't be someone different, but to try and not be someone different. We're all unique. I am not my father's son. I am someone far more different. Just as my mother and her mother, just as my grandfather and his father, just as my grandmother and her mother. Everyone deserves to be just a little different from who they originated from, because that's exactly how life should be like. Differences not within are differences to be cherished, not hated. I feel like that'd be fun. You know? I don't know how many people are living such unfortunate lives that they cannot reveal who they are to the world. It's truly unfortunate. I hope them the best. I hope they grow up to be kind, to have a smile every morning whenever they see the sun, enjoying their breakfast, enjoying talking to people. I hope when they go on their walk to school, they see their friends and decide to join them by sprinting just a little fast, just faster than their friends' walking pace to catch up quickly. It'd be nice to have some leaves fall on their backpack and they have to clean them up in class because one of them fell into the open pocket of their backpack. I hope one day I could change the world. If not with my words and my actions, if not by my actions and my thoughts, if not by my thoughts, the ideals I bring. And if those do not work in the end, I myself shall become the bringer of change. I would change this world to be kind. I hope one day that I can maybe I do want my actions to be seen by another, just so they know that I am a kind person. I've always loved Fujitora from One Piece, the Admiral. He's one of my favorite characters, not because he was strong, because he's shown who he truly is. A kind person, someone who knows the distinction between evil, or not evil, but I guess malice, and chaos. Just because someone decides to act in such a manner that isn't befitting of what the world deems normal doesn't mean they are the same blood as me. To be human is to be different, and oh god, I'd kill if I could never be different from another. I wonder how Fujitora feels if he sees the hate in another's heart. 'Cause I could never a far better man than I could be. I'm not striving to be like him. I do know the distinction between a false reality and one that is real. Unfortunately, the real one is far less kind than it is cruel. It was 286. Good job, me. I'm doing good. I do hope to be famous, just so I can help another person out whenever I can. I do wish I could be kind.